This is a reminder, Class Connect sessions are recorded and distributed for learning purposes that are listed here. As always, be respectful, appropriate, and participate. Please do not share personal information during the class, such as social media information or contact info, for your own security reasons and for legal reasons with the school. All right, here we go. So we are in the April 12th attendance ticket. You will notice that there are 2 links in the chat box for the attendance ticket. Try both of them. One of them will work, one of them won't, because it depends on whose section you are technically assigned to. More about that in a few moments. So click on that link. Please open up your attendance ticket. This is how you get attendance in my class. I don't keep track of attendance manually because that would take forever with 200 students. So instead, we do attendance tickets. They are password protected, and you can only get the password if you are actually in the live class. So if you are not attending live classes, you will not be able to get the password, which means you won't be able to get your 10% attendance. Smiley faces, everyone, if that makes sense. Most of you I know are aware of this, but I do have a couple new students, so I want to make sure everyone's on board with that. Awesome. Green checks if you are able to open up your attendance ticket. Yes. Red X's if you're having any issues. Again, try both links. One will work. I promise you, one of those will work. Awesome. All right. I'm seeing lots of green checks, no red X's, so it looks like we are on track. All right, here we go. So I am Mrs. Larkin. You can see me on the webcam, but this is my family over here as well. This is my husband and my daughter, who looks very grumpy. She's a very grumpy picture taker. She did like smiles for pictures up until she was like 9 months old, and ever since then, it's impossible to catch her smiling on camera, because when she's smiling, she's like moving around. She is 1.5 years today officially. Yeah, which is crazy. All right, so if you need to contact me, here is my email and here is my phone number here. There you go, much better, Ephraim. Vlad is good. I'll need to find Vlad. My daughter put him somewhere. Okay, so Zoe, try both of them, and then you do need to enter a password. You need to make sure you're logged into your course page as well. Okay, if you're still having trouble at the end of class, I can help you out, okay? All right, guys, focus, focus. All right, just as a heads up, you do get 5 attempts on every assignment, so keep that in mind. And then today we are just going over some welcome information. You will have a survey to complete at the end of class. Yeah, Peter, I'm okay with socializing during class as long as it's mostly based on class, and if I need to step in, I'll step in. So no biggie, but just make sure you're focused, and then there are times for socializing every once in a while, okay? Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started up here. So this unit this unit, we are going to be talking about the nature of matter. Ethan, again, no social media, no contact information in the chat box, please, okay? All right, so unit number 1, we're going to be talking about nature of matter. This is actually all about chemistry. All right, so take a look here. We're going to be talking all about chemistry this quarter. So we're going to talk about matter, talk about energy, viscosity, and we will have some cool labs this quarter as well. Oh, for the sign-in, you need your username. You should already know your username. How did you get to class today? You had to have logged in, right? So you need to, it's your normal K-12 username and your normal K-12 password. Does that make sense, Ethan? Okay, yeah, no worries. All right, so I was like, username, what? Okay. All right, so as you will notice, everyone, I am again sending you 2 links for your attendance ticket. One of them is going to work, one of them is not going to. The reason for this is because we have officially split the roster into 2, because again, I have 200 students now, and that's very difficult for me to keep up with grading for 200 students. It was difficult last quarter with 160 of you. So now that there's 200 students, I will be having an assistant teacher, Mr. Auk, who will be joining us next week. Okay, so if you find that the first link works, then that means that you are assigned to my roster or section 1. You can actually see it at the top of your page if you look at the title of your course page. If you see section 1, that means that you are on my roster. Okay, if on the other hand the second link works, then Mr. Alk is the one that's going to be grading you. It's just down to grading though. Grading is the only thing that's different. Everything else though, I am still your main teacher. Okay, so we'll be having class together. I'll be making your assignments and all of your recordings and everything. So don't worry about that. I'm still your teacher. It's just that in order to help me manage grading a little bit better, I have an assistant now. Okay, smiley faces if that makes sense. Again, that's why you will be seeing 2 links. Keep track of whose link works for you. Keep track of if Miss Larkin's, my links always work for you, or if Mr. Alk's links always work for you. Okay? All right, yeah, Zoe, stay after class and I can go ahead and help you out with that because that definitely doesn't seem like that should be happening. Okay? No worries, Alyssa. All right, looking good. Okay, so sorry, I already talked about this. Here we go. All right, so today's objective is we should be able to complete a getting to know you survey at the end of class. We're going to learn how to complete some assignments really easily and how to get an A in class. Many of you did get A's that came to class last quarter, and that's really the trick. If you're coming to classes, you're going to do awesome in the course, okay? So some quick breakdowns. All assignments, we do them during the live class sessions. No worries, Shay. It's good to see you again. And the course is extremely easy if you just attend class every day. So honestly, if you come to classes where we do the assignments together, your life is going to be super easy, okay? Attendance is 10% of your grade, and it's the only 10% that is password protected because it's the only one that you can only get if you're actually in the live class to get the password. Thumbs up if that makes sense, everyone. Again, the password is in the chat box for those of you that need it. All right. Again, you can only get it during live sessions. It is not included in the recording. You will not see it in the recording. So if you miss a class, unfortunately, you won't be able to get that, okay? All right. If you have something like a doctor's appointment, you can definitely email me and I can help you out with that though, okay? Or if you're scheduled or something during that time. So if you take a look at our grade breakdown here, I want you to notice what is the biggest category? What is the biggest category? Tell me in the chat box. Quizzes. Yes, quizzes are worth 40% of your grade. You do quizzes almost every day in my course. So quizzes are the big bulk of our course, which is why you do like 3 of them per week. Now, about once per week you have labs, and how much are labs worth in the course? How much are labs worth in the course? Tell me in the chat box. Yes, they're worth 25%. Now, in total, this quarter, we're going to have like 6 or 7 labs, which means each lab is worth about 4% of your grade, whereas each quiz is only worth about 1.5% of your grade. So that being said, even though labs might have a slightly smaller category, they do bring your grade up faster. So I want you to keep that in mind, that if you see that your grade is really low, that's probably because you're not doing labs, okay? They are not super hard, Efren. I take you through every single step. Again, if you're coming to class and you're working with me, you will definitely be successful, but you have to be willing to meet me halfway, all right? I definitely give you all the instructions. I give you recordings. I give you links and everything, but you got to meet me halfway and actually do it, right? Yes, and many of the old students can speak to that from their experience. Yeah, the second one was a little bit harder, wasn't it? Okay, yes, everybody needs to take Star 360. No, sorry, hold on. What am I saying here? There was something. Sorry, 9th and 10th graders all need to take Star 360. Okay, so 9th and 10th graders need to all take Star 360 this quarter. Okay. So it's Star 360 is not 10, sorry, if you don't have to take Star 360, that just means all of your other categories are slightly bigger. So they're proportionally just an extra little bit bigger. Okay, so like add a % on for each one. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Go ahead and match these up. Let's make sure we know what each of these are worth, right? So let's go ahead and match those up. You will notice that 2 of these here on the left will go to 1 of these over here on the right. Looking good. Yes, yes. 11th and 12th graders don't have Star 360 because they have state testing. Exactly. Correct, Valerie. Awesome, guys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause your tools. This looks awesome up here. I'm going to go ahead and just clean this up. This is also the answer to question number 1 in your attendance ticket. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that these are correct. And you guys can go ahead and answer number 1 in your attendance ticket, save it, and give me a green check. All right, so first things first, here we go. Labs are worth 25%. That is correct. Exams are worth 15%. That is correct. Sorry, I'm going to get a brighter color here. Attendance is worth 10%. Quizzes are worth 40%. And Star 360 is also only worth 10%. All right, go ahead and match these up for number 1. They will be randomized in your ticket. I need green checks from everyone. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to work on that. Green checks when the timer hits 0. Go, go, go. All right, Alejandra, Alex, Alexi, Alyssa, Amanda, Amir, green checks, please. Atasia, Brianna, Carlos, Chanel, green checks. Dusty, Dom, Dominic, Dree, Dylan, Efren, Isaiah, Ethan, Gabriel, Grant, green checks. Israel, Jade, Jared, Jeremiah, Jess, Josiah, Jody Eileen, is that how I say your name? If I'm saying your name wrong, let me know, guys. Kanisha, Kian, Kyler, Letitia, Mia, Miriam, green checks, please. Peter, and Zachary, green checks. Then we're moving on. All right. Let's go ahead and keep on going. All right, so the schedule for the first 3 weeks, I want to just show you this, that once we go back to our normal schedule, so Monday you have class at 1 o'clock again, but for the rest of the first 3 weeks, this will be your normal schedule. So last names N through Z will be at 12 o'clock. Last names A through M will be at 12:45. And then you will notice that we do have support sessions Tuesday, Thursday in the morning, and Wednesdays in the afternoon. Now, just like last quarter, here's the deal. If you attend just one support session per week, you can get 0.5% extra credit for that week. All right, there is no rollover though, so if you don't come to a support session for that week, you can't try to come to multiple the next week to make up for the one that you missed. Smiley faces if that makes sense. It used to be 1%. It's changing this this quarter for a reason, which I'll explain a little bit later. Awesome. All right, guys. So that being said, if there are 10 weeks in the course, and each week is worth 0.5% if you attend a support session, how much extra credit could you get in total? Go ahead, do that multiplication. It's not quite 10%, Cami. Again, each week is now worth only 0.5 or 0.5%. So there are 10 weeks. What would that be? Yeah, so in total, you can end up with 5% extra credit from support sessions, only if you're actually attending them each week. Thumbs up if you understand. Thumbs up if you understand. So it's actually half a percentage each week. So if there's 10 weeks, it's half of that. So it's only 5%. 5%. Awesome, looking good. All right, Peter, in the chat box, I need you to start focusing. Okay, let's refrain for typing unless we're going to go ahead and say something relevant to the class. Thank you. All right, looking good. This is actually number 2 in your ticket. I'm going to go ahead and give you 30 seconds. Green checks when you have number 2 in your ticket saved. Let me give you your green checks back. Here you go. All right, 5 more seconds. All right, I have about half of you with green checks. All right, we're going to move on in 5 seconds. There we go. Got some more green checks. Again, I am giving you all of the... Pat, let's be kind in the chat box. I am going to be giving you all of the answers to the attendance ticket in class, okay? So just follow along with our attendance ticket. All right, looking good, everyone. So the next thing that I want to talk about is, hi Davion, is this idea that your grades tab does get updated very frequently with your grades and the links to the assignments and recordings, okay? So your grades tab is going to be the main place that you should go in my course, okay? So the grades tab is going to be your one-stop shop in order to be successful. It's going to have all the links to the recordings, all the links to the assignments, and remember the recordings give you the answers or the steps to all of the assignments, okay? So that's where you want to be going to your grades tab. Again, you will notice I'm going to send you the links to the grades tab. Only one of these is going to work. Okay, remember that you're either assigned to me or you're assigned to Mr. Alk, so only one of them will work, so try both of them. All right, yep, there we go. All right, looking good. So let's go ahead and make sure that makes sense. Use your whiteboard tools, use your polling tools. Tell me what is the most important tab, A, plan, B, content, C, grades, or D, tools. Go ahead, use your polling tools. Most important tab. Awesome. Yes, we literally just went over it. The answer here is grades because it's going to have all of your links and recordings and assignments. All right, everyone. So go ahead, answer number 3. Give me a green check when you have number 3 saved. You have 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Deavian, you need to try both links. Both links. Yes, Miriam, if you look at the top of your page, if it says like SCI102B X underscore physical sci underscore section 1, that means that you are my student, so Larkin. If it says section 2, that means that you are Mr. Ock's students. You can also take a look at the announcements. If you scroll down to the bottom of the welcome announcement, it'll tell you who's your teacher because it'll say, thank you, Mrs. Larkin or Mr. Ock. Okay? But either way, if you try both of them, one of them's going to work. All right. Give you about 5 more seconds to get me your green checks. Let's go. We've only got 4 minutes left to class. And I still got stuff to talk about. Awesome. Looking good, looking good. All right, here we go. Moving on. All right, guys, so we are in quarter number 4 of physical science, which if you were with me for quarter number 3, you know we talked all about physics. Now, quarter number 4, though, we're going to be talking all about chemistry. So now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, really tiny stuff that you can no longer see. Section 1 is the first link, right? So if you take a look here, section 1, Larkin, section 1 is the first link. Alk, section 2 is the second link. That's how I'm going to always set it up. So hopefully that'll help you guys out to be consistent with that. All right, so we'll be talking all about the nature of matter. We'll be talking about gas laws, atoms, elements, the periodic table. I'm telling you right now, Efren, so this is everything that we're going to be looking at this quarter. We're going to be talking about bonds, chemical reactions. We're going to be doing a lot of chemical reactions, talk about the difference between acids and bases. We're going to even go into a little bit with organic chemistry. So lots of stuff that we're going to cover this quarter, and the experiments are going to be, the demos are going to be lots of fun. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you about your survey for today. Survey for today is super easy. It's only 4 questions, but I do want to explain question number 2 and question number 4. Okay, so the first one is just about your name, right? Tell me your name that you want to go by. It can be a nickname, it can be your preferred name, it can be the name that you go by already. Or if your name is often mispronounced, you should go ahead and let me know how to pronounce it correctly so I'm not butchering it during class. Please keep it school appropriate. All right, so if you want to go by a nickname, it has to be something school appropriate. Okay. Now question number 2, you'll notice it's kind of a long question, but your answer is only a sentence. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a student habit that you would like to work on this quarter, which this is related to our extra credit that, I took away from the support sessions. So remember, support sessions are only worth 5% extra credit in total this quarter. To the rest of your extra credit, the extra 5% of extra credit is going to be from some habits stuff that we're going to be doing. Okay, smiley faces if that makes sense. So I haven't quite set this up yet. That's going to be set up over the weekend, but this is going to be an extra 5% extra credit when we're working on these habits. Okay, there's a bunch of different ones, right? You can choose checking your grades tab. A lot of these ask you to choose a time, so make sure that you actually fill these in and choose a time or choose a number, right? So it might be writing down a to-do list. It might be attending your live sessions, checking your email, let's see here, writing down things that you learned, or you can choose your own. But if you choose your own, it has to be very similar to how mine look. So you need to, it has to happen every day. It needs to be specific. The survey, I haven't given you the survey quite yet. Okay, I'm just explaining it to you right now. Okay, so just hold on 1 second. But if you need the attendance ticket, this is the link to the attendance ticket. Okay, and it needs to have a time and it needs to be realistic. Okay, so this, you can choose your own, but it has to look very similar to mine in order for you to get points for it. And this is worth 15 points. So you want to make sure you do this correctly. Smiley faces if you understand. Okay, so you can use the template I gave you, fill it out correctly, or you can make your own. Okay, now question number 3 is just what you like to do for fun. All right, this one is worth 10 points. And then question number 4 is about life habits. So this one is not student habits, but life habits. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to go to sleep? How are you going to make your life positive? How are you going to stay healthy? That kind of thing. Again, you can choose your own here. Okay. Josiah, password is in the chat box for you. All right. So then you're going to submit your survey. I'm going to go ahead and send you your survey right now. All right. So here is the links to the survey. Again, you do need to try both of them. Make sure you choose the one that works for you. All right, here you go, and here's your last word. Thanks so much, everyone. This is the last word for your attendance ticket. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.